अवज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हस्तामलक जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, canto 10, chapter 54, verse number 42. So we read in the previous verses how Krishna, he had tied Rukmi and then disfigured him, which made Rukmani ji unhappy. And then Sri Balram came and he released him and started speaking in a way to console Rukmani. So here he says, Tavayam Visma Buddhi Sarvabhuteshu Durhadam Yanmanyase sada bhadram shruhidam bhadram agyavat. So this is speaking to Rukmani, and this is a complicated verse, except for the first part, Taviyam Vishma Buddhi, that you have this biased thinking. The other words, you can put them in different ways and get different meaning. Nothing is very clear what exactly he really means. So Sridhar Swami says, Sarvabhuteshu durhidam ahitanam bhratrinam agyavadyad bhadram manyase ichchasi yam tav vishma samichena buddhi. He says that your relatives, mean your brother Rukmani, who has unfavorable attitude towards all living beings, and you think he is a good person, this is your improper thinking. That is one meaning he gives. Kutaha yastadeva sluhidam abhadramiti. Because why is that? That is because you are thinking that those who are good, they are abhadra. Means those who are sluhidas, or who have good beneficial thinking about living beings, about them you think abhadra. Means obviously Krishna. You're thinking he is doing something wrong when he is proper. Yadva sarvabhutesu durhidam api swasuhridam bhadram eva dandarupam mundanam abhadram yanmanyase tavayam vishma buddhi. Or sarvabhutesu durhidam swasuhridam bhadram eva dandarupam mundanam. He says your brother who is ill favored or not favorable to all living beings, it was proper that he got shaved like this. But you are thinking this is wrong. This is your improper thinking. Or sarvabhutasu madhye durhridam sushupaladinam abhadram sruhidam bhadram chayan manyase tav iyam vishma buddhi. That of all living beings, those who are durhida, means do not have good hearts, such as Shishupal, etc., and they are abhadra, so you think they are suhridas and they are bhadra, they are nice. Means those who are inauspicious, not well intentioned, to them you think they are good and auspicious. This is your Vasma Buddhi. Samana bhavati agyavad agyanamiva. You don't think equally about them, or don't think properly, because you are behaving like ignorant. So that's a different way of seeing this sloka. Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Nitiriyam yuddhad anyatreva yuddhe tu vairi parajitya tiraskriyate eva iti iyam api nitir ati krishnasya svagatokti malakshya devim pratiyaha. So the previous sloka he spoke to Krishna, aiming at Krishna, means what you have done is not proper for us. This is for those people who are proud and proud of their wealth, power, position, followers, etc. So this behavior is not good. So now as if Krishna is thinking that what you are saying is appropriate outside battle, but when you are fighting, this is the proper thing what I did. This is not a normal situation. So it says, Yuddhad anyatreva. What you are saying is appropriate only outside battle, means not in the battle. But in the battle, yuddhetu vari parajitya tiraskriyate. But in the battle, you conquer the enemy and disrespect him. That's normal. So your niti you are applying in a wrong place. So thinking that Krishna is saying like this, then he speaks to Rukmani that you are thinking wrongly, that this person is nice or he has been punished wrongly. That's not true. So Devim Pratyaha speaks to Rukmani Devi, Taviyam Sruhidam Swabandhunam Rukmi Prabhritinam Bhadram Eva Krishna Kritam Mundanam Yattada Bhadram Manyase Iyam Tam Vishma Buddhi. That what Krishna has done to Rukmi, etc., that he shaved him, you think it is improper or not good, that is your improper thinking. That's how he is saying the sloka. Agyavat agyanamivatav vigyaya api ityarth. So you are acting like an ignorant person when actually you are highly learned. Kidrishanam sarubhutesu druhidam drushtamanansam. So who are the people who have been disfigured by Krishna? The people who are having evil thinking or evil-minded people. Drushtamanansam. So you don't have to feel bad about him. Atma moho nirnamesha kalpyate deva mayaya shruhida druhida udasina iti dehatma maninam. So he says it is only by the deva maya, by the maya of Bhagwan, that people out of confusion of their mind, not thinking properly, they make all these distinctions that this is friend, this is enemy, and this is neutral. Or they consider somebody as well-wisher, somebody as ill-wisher, and somebody as indifferent. So he says this happens to those who are dehatma maninam. So because of the moha, because of the confusion, because of the influence of maya, people think like that. Janami eva idam yadayam bhrata me dushta eva tadapi yatra bandhu bhavo na piyati kim karomi iti chet. So now if Rukmani says that yes, I know that my brother is evil-minded, but still he is my brother and I cannot get rid of that feeling, so what can I do? So then Balram speaks this verse. Satyam aprakrityaha bhavatyaha eva ayam aviveko anuchata iti uchyate. So he says, yes, what you say is right, but you are not an ordinary person. You are not a materialistic person, you are aprakrita. You are a spiritual being. And therefore this type of aviveka, this type of siding with your brother is wrong on your part. Samsarika lokanam tvayam svabhavika eva dharma itya. This is natural for materialistic people. Because materialistic people, they function on the basis of I, me, my. Right? So, but you are not a laukika person. Huh? You are not a materialistic person. So, dehatmaninam deha eva atma iti manne mananam dehatmaninam eva nirnam natu jnaninam. So, this is only for people who are dehatma mani, who think their body to be their self, and it is appropriate for them to behave the way you are behaving, but you are not a person like that. So this kind of behavior is not appropriate for the jnanis, for the learned. So asocyanan vasochastyam, that you are lamenting for those who are not worthy of lamentation. So you should give up this type of thinking that this is my brother, this is my this. So he is now speaking tattva to uplift. If you want to uplift somebody from the bodily platform, you speak about Atma. Speak about Paramatma. You are not this body, so don't be attached to it. Body is just a dress. So don't be in distress and rise above this. So eka eva paro hi atma sarvesham api dehinam naneva grihyate mudher yatha jyotir yatha nabha. Says that there is only one para atma. Para atma means Paramatma. There is only one Paramatma. Sarvesham api dehinam. All the dehis, all the embodied beings, there is only one Paramatma. But this one Paramatma is seen as differently by different people. Nana eva grihyate mudhai. Those who do not have the proper vision, mudhananu pashyanti gyan chakshusha. Those do not have the eye of transcendental knowledge. So they behave like this, and they see variety when there is only one thing. Jyotir yatha nabha. It's like one fire can appear in different shapes according to the shape of the object which is burnt. Or just like the sky is one, but by the upadhi of ghata, pata, matha, you get ghatakas, patakas, mathakas. Small sky, big sky, but it's only one sky. So just keep your vision on the sky and look up high. So it says Dehatma Maninam Matam Dvabhyam Khandayan Prathamam Deha Paramatmane Bhavati Ityaha. So he is refuting the idea of those who consider body as the self. Because he said that it is true what you are saying, but still he is my brother. So snehanu bandho bandhunam murairapi sudustyaja. It is very difficult to give up attachment to your family members. No matter even if they fight with you, still they are your relatives. At the end of the day or at the end of the night, right? At the end of night there comes little light, so you may see who they are. That's why they say at the end of the day, because then it's dark. Right? Why do they say at the end of the day, not end of night? Because end of day, confusion. Everything is just dark. So he says, he speaks two slokas to remove this darkness. So he says that, look, first thing is that this body is not Paramatma. At least get this much right. Although some people think like that body is also Paramatma. Right? Those who are avatar on the planet Earth, some avatars are there. So avatar means body. So and so is avatar of so and so. Kalki avatar. So it's only the body which is the avatar, because the soul they don't see. So first thing he says that Prathamam Deha Paramatmane Bhavati. This is easy to understand, not very difficult. The body is not Paramatma. Ekaiti Parayatma. So Parayatma means Paramatma. Dehinam, Dehavatam, Jivanam hi Nishchitam Eka eva Prerako Bhavati. So what is the meaning that there is only one Paramatma? Means he is the Preraka. He is the one who inspires everyone. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam. So therefore you should not become upset, because the person who is inspiring you is also inspiring the other person. So why waste your energy getting upset? There is only one person in everyone who is playing the game. Make this person angry, make this person happy, make this person sad. So he is doing all this lila, like a play. World is a stage and there is one director. Director is the one who tells, right? Get angry, this is your role. You should be always angry person. The other person, you should be happy person, you should be sad person. So everybody is playing their role. So don't take this so seriously. Right? And there is only one Paramatma. He is the Preraka. Preraka, you know? Prayojak Karta. Prayojak Karta, Prayojya Karta. So Prayojaka Adhin Karta. Prayojya. Titradha. So Karta Sutantra Ityukta Hetu Karta Prayojaka. Prayojaka Adhin Karta. Prayojyate Satradha. So 3 types. So 3 types he also said. Sruhida, Druhida, Udasin. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So he says Dehinam, Dehavatam. Dehinam means Dehavatam, those who have Deha. So Dehinam, Dehavatam does not mean the body but the Atma. That's why Atma is Paramatma, because then he is calling Dehinam. Atma here does not mean the individual self but the Supreme Self. He Nishitam Eka Eva Prerako Bhakti. So there is only one Preraka. Eka Seva Dhishthan Bahulye Sati Nanatva Drishtanta. So one thing appears differently according to the Adhisthana. Adhisthana means the container. So you take water, you put it in different shapes of pots, tumblers, cups, big pot, small pot, circular, round, right? So it will look differently, but it is only one. Water is one, but it appears different shapes according to the adhisthana. The shape of the container changes the shape of what is contained in it. So Akasha is one, does not even have any shape, it does not even move. At least water can move. You can pour water from here to there. Akasha you cannot pour, you cannot remove the Akasha of this room and put it in the next room and make this empty.
Excuse me, but Atma and Paramatma is separated, or is this is Jiva Atma and Paramatma Krishna himself?
Yeah, they are separate, otherwise why is it called Paramatma? If they are one, why you have 2 names?
No,
Atma is Atma, Paramatma is Paramatma.
Yeah, very clear. Jiva, Atma separation, smooth. Jiva, Atma, Paramatma Krishna. And this text, that Atma, Paramatma,
No.
is no different.
He is not saying that. He is saying Jivatma is separate, Paramatma is separate.
Thank you.
But there is one Paramatma in everybody. So 2 examples are given here of showing this distinction between appearances of one object differently according to their substratum, adhisthana. So Jyotir, Agnir, Darushu, Nabha, Akasha, Ghateshu, Pumaniti. So yeah, just like fire, so like it says Sut Goswami, Yathai Vahito Vanhi Darushu Ekasvayonishu Nanai Bhati Vishwatma. So fire is one, but it appears small, big, medium size. It can appear square, it can appear round, depending on what kind of wood you are burning. Right? So one fire is inside, hidden. Then it comes out, and according to the adhisthana from which it is manifesting, it appears differently. So like that there is only one Paramatma, but the type of body you have, then it appears like that. All these distinctions are only because of the body. Otherwise there is no distinction. And another example is of the Akasha. So Akasha is not even visible. So you cannot even say that it is appearing differently. At least the fire appears differently, but Akasha does not appear differently. You don't see Akasha. All you see is that covering of the Akasha. So you make different sizes of the rooms, big room, small room, round room, square room, pentagon room, hexagon room. So Akasha inside is also that. You say this is space. This room is full of space. So space appears like that. Room means space. So it's only one space. देहाद्यन्तवान् एष द्रव्यप्राणगुणात्मकः आत्मनि अविद्यया क्लिप्तः संसारयति देहिनम्. And then he talks about Deha. So, because you said that Deha is not Paramatma, body is not Paramatma. Why? Because it undergoes transformation. So, body has beginning and it has an end. Adi Antavan Esha. And in between other things also happen. It's not that it just has beginning and end. It also grows. It also expands. Then it becomes smaller. Then it dies. So, asti, jayate, vardhate, parinamti, apakshiyate, vinashyati cha. Sadvedha vikara. 6 types of the vikaras happen in the body. So we all see that jayate asti, not asti jayate. So this dravya prana gunatmaka. But body is very interesting. It has many things in it. It has some solid things. It has some airy things, prana. It has also gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. So this is the swarupa, this is the nature of the body. And different bodies have different gunas, different amount of pranas. Some people have more prana, others have less prana. Some people have more dravya, some have less dravya, right? Some have more substance.
Dravya, what is it? What dravya?
Substance. Some have more substance, right? Some have less substance. So this variety there. And Atmani avidya klipta. And then you think that this thing, this dravya, this material, this prana is within me. Means I hold this, I am this. So this is why this happens. This is because of the avidya. And this avidya is also very subtle, because you can hear about it, you can go on hearing about it. It's all right. After that, after hearing, it's still same. Makes no difference. Right? You can go on hearing it. Even when you are hearing it, it's not making any difference. And once you have heard it, then no difference. And hearing is not some kind of weight that it adds anything to you. It does not make even one samskara. Generally what you hear, it makes samskara, right? But this does not make. You stay clean like that fish. There is one type of fish which remains in the mud, but it doesn't catch any mud. If you pull it out from the mud, it's completely clean. So like that, we remain absolutely immune to hearing this, that we are not the body. this immunity is given to us by avidya. So he says, Atmani avidyaya klipta. Klipta means we have accepted this. And because of that acceptance, then samsarayati dehim. So then you follow the samsara. Samsara means same, this beginning and birth, death. So you keep on playing different roles, acting on the stage of samsara. And this is why it is called Leela. Leela means play. So it is a big play which is going on. Because sometimes people ask this question, why there is so much suffering if there is God? No, there is so much suffering only because there is God. Because that is His play. So let's see the comment on this. Deho jivatma api na bhavati itya. So in previous sloka he said that body is not Paramatma. Now he says body is also not Jivatma. It is easy to understand body is not Paramatma. It is difficult to understand body is not Jivatma. That's more difficult. So Deha iti Yashruhid buddhya palya druhrid buddhya vadhya saiva deha adiyantvan. So that person whom you are thinking, this is my sruhida, is my piece of my heart, and therefore it needs to be protected, nourished by me. And this person, by druhrid buddhya, is my enemy, should be killed. That is only the body. So when you are getting angry at somebody, you are only getting angry at the body. Right? Not the person. Person is same. There is no variety in the person. In the Atma there is no variety. It's not good Atma, bad Atma. Also we say Duratma, Mahatma. That is only Atma there, does not mean Atma, soul. It means only the body, the heart, Chitta basically. Because Atma also means that. So that is all external. Like somebody is having a nice dress, then you fall in love with that person. Somebody is not dressed nicely, you hate that person. So your love is only for the dress. Your hatred is also for the dress. So think how smart you are. And you have to think at your own smartness. Because people also think I'm smart. So this is the smartness, he says. So he says this is only Deha. And that Deha has Adi Antavan. It has beginning and end. So Dravyam Adhibhutam. Dravya means Adhibhuta. Combination of Adhibhuta, Adhideva, Adhyatmika. So Adhibhuta, Dravya, all these Panch Mahabhutas. Prana, Indriyani, Adhyatma. Then there is Prana. Prana also means senses. Prana is not always used for the air, life air. Prana is also used for senses because they work on the prana. So that is Adhyatma. And Gun Shabdena Adhidevata. And Guna is referring to Adhidevata. So Trityatmakaha Atmani Jive Avidya Eva Kalpita. So this three-pronged personality of Adhibhut, Adhyatma, Adhideva, he says this is all imposed onto the Atma, that it is in the Atma. We think Atma is in the body. He is saying that body is in the Atma. Just like Nyaya says that whole is in the parts. People think parts are in the whole. Nyaya puts it upside down. He says no, whole is not, part are not in the whole. It is the whole which is in the part. So therefore he is saying that these things are in the Atma. They are in the Atma means you say this is me. You are thinking yourself. So Atmani Jive avidyaya eva kalpita. So this is an imagination out of avidya. But this imagination is not something which you know that you are imagining. This is also not an imagination which you sit down and then you imagine. Sometimes we imagine like that. So that is not, it is not that kind of imagination. Okay? So he says this is by avidya, and this is continuously, this avidya is coming before your birth. So it comes along with you. So this is not some kind of avidya which has a beginning, like you imagine then you stop imagining. It is a non-stop imagination. And you don't have to make any effort for that. It's naturally going on. So raga dvesha adi vishyo bhutaha san dehinam sansarvantam karata. And this avidya is that which manifests as raga and dvesha naturally. Avidya asmita raga dvesha. So for that also you don't have to make any plan, any effort, nothing. You naturally start liking somebody. Someone says something, you appreciate that. Someone said something, you become upset. Same statement is made to another person, he likes. Same statement is made to another person, he becomes upset. So why is that? Somebody says, like some political leader says something, so many people are clapping on that. And there are so many people there getting upset because of that. So this raga, dvesha, is also coming because of avidya. So raga dvesha, the vishayo bhutaha. So you become like that. And then because of that so many other things. Once raga and dvesha is there, then the play goes on non-stop. So that is the samsara. So dehinam sansaravantam karoti. So then the Atma goes through the cycle of samsara. Na atmanonyena sanyogo vyogascha asatah sati tadhetutvat tat prasiddher Drigurupabhyam yatharavi. So this is all tattva talk of tattva. People sometimes become afraid to hear tattva because it seems like uprooting you from your moorings. All this time you did not hear?
No, the last sentence you said. People think and then you turn your head and then it would be.
So I'm not supposed to turn my head.
No, someone else is supposed to turn the button a little bit. So, yeah.
Okay, so anyway what I'm saying is that people become scared when they hear talk of tattva. That's what I'm saying. Why? Because it just cuts your roots. That's the problem. So now he says even more dangerous thing. He says, Na atmano anyena sanyoga vyogascha asatah sati. He says that the Atma does not have sanyoga or viyoga with anything. It does not have any union or separation with anything. Asango hi ayam purushaha. Purusha or Atma is asanga. So you don't have to worry about sanga. Sangat sanjayate kama. Kamat krodha. Because there is already asanga. No, there cannot be any sanga of Atma with anything. This is true. So he says that na atmano anyena sanyoga. There is no sanyoga, there is no union. And if there is no union, there is no separation. Separation is only possible if union is there. If union is not there, how can there be separation? So therefore there is no union, there is no separation. asataha sati. Sati is referring to Rukmani. Because this is all asata. Atma is sat, right? And these are all asat. So there cannot be union of sat with asat. Just like there cannot be union between darkness and light. They cannot be. So tadhetutvat tat prasiddhe drig rupabhyam yatharave. So these are all illuminated. These asata, this body, etc., they are illuminated by the Atma. Atma illuminates them, but Atma is not touched by them. It's very smart fellow that he brings light to mind, body, intelligence, senses, everything, but he remains aloof. So he gives the example. He says, Prasiddher drig rupabhyam yatharave. He said, just like sun remains aloof from all the objects which it illuminates, including the eyes. Eyes are also illuminated by the sun. If sunlight is not there, then eyes cannot see. But sun is not influenced by eyes or the objects which are perceived through the eyes. So he remains completely untouched by that. So Atma is also like that. It's only an illuminator, but does not become implicated in anything. किंतु जीवात्मनो देह लिप्तत्वादेव देह एव आत्मा प्रतीतिर्भवति वस्तुतस्तु देहे न लेप तस्य जीवात्मा. So he says that this Atma, because it is covered by the body, so then it appears as if Atma is the body. So just like if you have an object, like if you take this table and you put green paint on the table, so the table appears green. So that is what is called lepa. Lepa means painting, like plastering. So Atma is plastered by the body, covered. And then Atma appears like body. Like the table is not green, you painted green, or house is not green, you painted green. Then it appears house is green, we also say, oh, this is green house. Or this is pink house. So he says like that Atma is tainted by body or painted by the body, and then becomes fainted by it. So he says, Deha eva Atma iti pratitir bhavati. So this type of appearance is perceived, you think like that. Vastutastu dehe na lepa tasya jivatmana. But truly speaking, the Atma is not implicated in the body. Anyena jadena dehena asata adyantavattvad asarvakal sthayina sanyogo lepo nasti sanyoga bhavadeva viyogopi nasti. So he says that everything else other than Atma is asat. Asat means, does not mean that it does not exist. Sat means which exists always, means eternal. Asat means temporary. So he says there is no union between eternal and temporary. And because there is no union, there is no separation. So we have never met our own body, what to speak of meeting others? Because whomever you meet only through your body. But if you have not met your body, then you also not met others. I touch the table, and then table is on the floor. So you can say I am touching the floor indirectly. But if I don't touch the table, I am also not touching the floor. So I don't touch the body, and then body is touching another body. So then, if you don't touch the body, you also don't touch the other body. So when you touch your both hands together, it is the hands which are touching, not that you are touching. Because they are just two separate things from you. So that is the meaning that there is no union between Sat and Asat. Kutaha tat prasiddhe deha prakasasya tad hetutvat. So why is that? He says because it is Atma which illuminates it. And Jivatma hetukatvat. So this illumination means life in the body is only because of the Jivatma. Jivatma is not there, light gone. The bulb is switched off, then nothing works. Ataha adhyatmadi maya dehasya jivatma prakashyatvat tena saha jivatmano na lepaha. So because this body, which was said as adhyatmik, adi bhautik, adi daivik, it is illuminated by the living being. So therefore there is no lepa, there is no combination of them. It's not touching it. Nahi prakashakaha prakashyena kvapi lipyate. He says the illuminator does not become implicated by what it illuminates. They remain separate. It's like if you throw a torchlight onto a wall. So the wall becomes illuminated by the torchlight, but that does not mean that the torchlight has become attached to the wall. It remains separate from it. And because it is separate, that's why it illuminates it. If it was one with it, it will not be able to illuminate it. Atha Paramatma Pakshaha. So this was explanation when thinking the Atma and body relationship. Now he takes it one step further. He also applies this to Paramatma. So Atmanah Paramatmanah Anyena Jivena Asata Achirasthayina Dehena cha na sanyogo na viyogascha. So now he takes the meaning of Atma as Paramatma. So he says that Paramatma does not have sanyoga either with another Atma or with the body. Just as Atma does not have union, contact with the body, Paramatma does not contact Atma, not to speak of body. So he also remains completely aloof from it. And therefore there is no separation also, because that's what the sloka said. Tat prasiddhe tayor jiva dehayo prakashasya tad hetutvat paramatma hetukitva. So just as Atma illuminates the body, but actually Atma is also not an independent illuminator. Atma is illuminated by Paramatma. So Paramatma illuminates Atma, and then Atma illuminates the body, but Paramatma remains aloof from both of them. Atah Paramatmanah swaprakashabhyam jiva devabhyam naiva lepa. So there is no conditioning of Paramatma by Jivatma or by the body of the Jivatma. Nahi prakashakaha prakashya liptaha kvapi bhavati. Because it is a principle that the illuminator never becomes conditioned by that what it illuminates. Ubha paksheva drishtantaha. So in both of these explanations, he is giving an example. Both explanation from the point of view of Atma, and explanation from the point of view of Paramatma. The example is one which applies to both of them. So example is of the sun. Ravehe akashastha suryasya svena prakashitabhyam driga rupabhyam drisha chakshusha tat prakashena rupena cha nalepa. So sun is situated in the sky and it illuminates both the eyes as well as the form which is perceived by the eye. Because if sun is not there, then eyes do not work. If somebody is kept in the dark room for a long time, the eyes don't work. And if the eyes are not there, then the form also is not perceived. So it is the eye which perceives it. But the sun is not influenced by the both of them. So, ateva ravisthaniya paramatma, driksthaniyo jiva, rupasthaniyo deha. So in this sloka, he says that the sun is like the Paramatma, in the example, and the eyes are like the Atma, and the form or the color which is seen, that is the body. So this is how it has to be seen. Janmadayasthu dehasya विक्रियानात्मनः क्वचित् कलानामैव नैवेन्दोर मृति यस्य कुहुरिव. Therefore this body, this birth etc., birth, death and all the changes in between, this is only of the body and not of Atma, because Atma does not undergo any transformation. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतोयम पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Then he gives example for this also. Previously he gave the example of sun, now he gives example of moon. So he says that the moon undergoes changes. There is a full moon, then there is no moon, and in between there are 14 stages are there. So he says all these changes which you see in the moon, actually these are not the changes in the moon. It's only that moon gets covered by the shadow. And then it appears to us as if there is no moon, as if moon is dead. So he says moon remains as it is, but because of the shadow, it appears that now it is no moon, now it is first day, second day, and then full moon. So like that, body also undergoes transformation, but nothing happens to the Atma. So it appears as if Atma is undergoing changes because of the change in the body, but no, there is nothing like this. So Naivindor Mritirhasya Kuhuriva. So Kuhu means no moon, Amavasya. So Janmadibhirapi Sanyoga Bhavam Vaktum Tesham Deha Dharmattvamah. So even when there is birth and death etc., there is no sanyoga between body and Atma. This is all changes which happen in the body. Katham tarhi jatoham baloham vriddhoham iti atmani janmadi pratiti deha janmadina evati. So then why do you say that I am born, I am a young boy, I am old? Why do we speak I? So, he says janmadi pratiti deha janmadina eva. He says this is all related to the body and not to the Atma. Sadrishtantamaha. So there is an example given in this. Indoho kalanam eva janmadeva. So this moon has 16 kalas, so does kala. Kala means one part. So there is zero kala when it's not seen, then one little kala, and then full kala, sakala. So you hear this word sakala and vikala. Sakala means complete, full, whole. Vikala means something is missing, incomplete. So it comes from the word kala. So he says these kalas are changing and moon looks like as if moon is growing. So it is not the moon. Kala nama eva janmadeva. He says the birth etc. is only of the kala, not of the moon. Naivindo asankhya kalatmakasya yatha tadvat. He says moon has unlimited kalas. So like that Atma seems to be undergoing changes, but it's only of the body. Yatha chasya indoho kuhu kalakshaye eva mritiruchyate. So on the no moon day, Amavasya day, it is said that moon is finished, moon is dead. Sanastendu kalakuhuriti amara. So he said, but it is not that moon is somewhere lost. Tadavad asya atmano deha nashadeva mriti vibhara. So similarly, when body is destroyed, we say that somebody is dead. But Atma does not die. So therefore, conclusion is that Rukmani ji, do not be upset. Nothing has happened to the Atma of Rukmi. He is intact. Some hair is cut, they will come back after some time. Hair grow non-stop, even when he is sleeping, hair growing. So don't worry. So question, Param Karuna ji.
Pranam Babaji. Babaji, thank you so much for such a nice description of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam every day. Babaji, in today's class you mentioned about one point that everything is the Lord's play and even suffering is the Lord's play. So on this, I have heard this from you before and I have read it at some places in the Shastras. But I wanted to ask you, and I know it's a very long and deep topic to explain in a short Q&A, but if you could little bit elaborate on this, that how everything, even creation, is the Lord's play, and or if just give some pointers where I could find more on this. If you remember any specific pointers, that would also be wonderful.
Well, there is a Vedanta Sutra. I think it comes in the second chapter. Lokavattu Lila Kavalyam. So you can read that Vedanta Sutra, and of course Vedanta Sutra is not going to tell you much, but read the commentary. If you have Baldev Vidya Bhushan's Govind Bhashya, you can read that. So there are different ways of seeing things. Like they are sending now these spaceships, rockets to moon. So some people are seeing moon from one side and then they say, oh, now China sent and nobody has landed on that part of the moon. So it is one moon, but you are seeing different parts of it and studying it from different angles. So obviously it will look different from different angles. Any object seen differently looks differently when seen from different angles. So similarly, this creation, this universe, etc. can be understood from different perspectives. So when he is speaking like this, or I said it, it is seeing it from the perspective of Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan is not material. He is not under the influence of gunas. He is not under the influence of karma. So there are two ways to perform activity. One is that you perform activity because you want to achieve something. Another is you perform activity because you have achieved something. So Bhagavan has nothing to achieve. Right? He says that I am krit kritavya, aptaptavya, navaptavyam. There is nothing for me to achieve. So then why is he acting? That is what is called play. The difference between karma and play is that we perform karma to get something, to attain something, to become something, to reach somewhere. And play is which is done just for the pleasure. Play is not done to achieve something. If it is done to achieve something, then it is not a play. Then it becomes karma. So because he has nothing to achieve, he is perfect. So when he is acting, it's only his play. So then you can see the world from his point of view. It's all play. Okay, Gustavo.
Of course, Babaji, the question of why, as you have said multiple times, probably doesn't arise because that could mean that there is a cause.
Yes, we don't, you said play. Why am I playing? Because I have energy to play. So I play out of my ananda. That's all. Not that I want to achieve something. God has Shakti. When you have Shakti, what do? You manifest your Shakti. And he does not have little Shakti. He has so much Shakti that he brings out Brahmandas after Brahmandas. That's what he is. If you have Shakti to sing, you sing. If you have Shakti to run, you run. If you have Shakti to talk, you talk. So he has Shakti for everything, therefore he does so many things. He is Shaktiman. Okay, Gustavo.
Pranam Babaji. So you were talking about the bodily platform and avatars. So nowadays, if someone claims to be an avatar with like some city, so we know that they're on the bodily platform by definition.
I don't know unless he's an avatar. Maybe somebody is a real avatar. If he's only claiming, then yes. But if he's a real avatar, then no.
So how would you know? I mean, how do you know?
How do I know? I have to see. I have to put a test. Okay. Roads.
Sorry, did you say Rhodes?
Yes. Your name is Rhodes?
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes. And I realized I never properly introduced myself. My name's Naji Rhodes. You can call me Naji. I had a question today on the topic.
Naji in Hindi means sir, no sir. In Hindi, Naji.
Sorry?
In Hindi, Naji means no sir.
Okay, yeah.
Naji.
My parents thought they were making up the name, but it is a name in several languages. It's a name in Japanese, in Farsi, and now I guess I'm hearing in Hindi as well. So
Therefore I said roads,
but,
so that you can.
Okay, that's fine too. So my question today was on. Usually I think when I make friends with people, I'm making friends with them on the level of the subtle body. So it's kind of like my subtle body is becoming friends with their subtle body. But I was wondering, is it possible to connect with another Jiva, but on the level of the soul? And is that, or should we just focus on connecting with Krishna on the level of the soul and not worry about the other Jivas? Or like, how does that work?
You see, if you want to connect at any level, you have to be on that level. Otherwise, how will you connect? Like if you want to connect somebody on the ground floor, on the earth, you have to be on earth. So if you want to connect somebody on the Atma level, then you have to be at Atma level. Otherwise, how will you connect?
So in the first stage, just focus on one sadhana, and then, after many years, then maybe I'll be able to connect with people on the level of the Atma, maybe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Narayanji.
Pranam Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj, my question is that in these last 6 slokas or 6 slokas or so, Balaramji is trying to lift Rukmini's consciousness apparently from the gross body level to one level up, and this question is coming in that context. The question is Rukmini's relation with Rukmini eternal? And I have two, but this is the first one. Because this is the Leela of Bhagavan. And here is somebody who is coming in a extremely tight sambandha. It's not, some distant cousin, it's a very, very tight relationship. So is this an eternal relationship?
Well, the problem is that in this Leela itself, he will be killed. Right? You know the story. That Balaram will kill him. So obviously that brother-sister relationship will come to an end at that time. Now you may say, well, he will be brother again in another Leela, that maybe, but at least now it came to an end. There was no more Rukmi after some time. So it doesn't seem like eternal.
Okay. So it's not eternal.
So therefore Balaram is preaching to her.
So, actually that brings me to the next question. And this is something that I have actually not, I'm not able to reconcile. I mean, here is a person who comes in contact with Sakshat Antaranga Shakti of Bhagavan. Let's, Rukmini. And they have a very tight relationship, like a brother and sister, and she is his younger sister. So I'm assuming they have had a bond which really cannot be explained. But how is it that despite that, he doesn't get even an iota of that antaranga? How is it that he's not getting that prema or bhava or whatever you want to call? I mean, how does this happen? Is that some? And I'm asking this largely from the perspective of a sadhaka. We come in touch with the Siddha Guru, with the Sakshat Guru. So my question is that how can we avoid a similar fate? Because the person has come in contact with internal energy. I would assume the person is like already at the prema level and such. So I'm having a hard time just understanding this.
Yeah, it is hard to understand, but still it can be understood. It's not impossible. So first thing is, as we just said, that Bhagavan is doing his Leela. He is doing his pastimes. So when he is doing his Leela, he also does Leela that for his pleasure, but he also wants to teach us. So in one of his pleasure is Vir Rasa, fighting. So he need also people who have to take the role to fight with him. So then he empowers some people to do that. But anyone who will be killed by Krishna or Balaram, they are not going to go to hell or anywhere, you know that. So they will be elevated to their abode. And in that sense you can say that there is an eternal relationship, that they will again meet. So that is one view. Other view is that when Bhagavan comes here, sometimes there is also mixture of people from this world in his Leela. Just like we saw that in the very first chapter of 10th canto Bhāgavatam, that God Mahavishnu himself ordered all the devas to take birth here on earth and then they were born and they participated in Bhagavan's Leela. Then they were killed and they were sent back, right? Like even some of the relatives of the Pandavas who were killed, like Abhimanyu, is known that he was son of moon god. And moon god allowed him to come here, but he said, please don't stay there too long. That's why he stayed only 16 years and then went back. So now he is son of Arjuna and Subhadra. So now that's very intimate. Subhadra is also Krishna's sister, and sometimes he is considered as Yogamaya, Krishna, Balram, Subhadra, in Jagannath Puri. So now Abhimanyu is born from her womb. Then he got killed. So now do you say that their relationship is eternal or non-eternal? So we have to have this perspective of Bhagavan's Leela, how he is performing and what is he trying to teach. So in case of Rukmi, he is trying to teach that how you can be so intimate, but if you yourself are not interested in something, means prema, Krishna prema, then you cannot have it. Mahaprabhu was traveling with this Kala Krishna Das, that was the name. So Mahaprabhu came to give prema to everybody, but Kala Krishna Das got influenced and he ran away with some, what you call, gypsies, right? Then he has to somehow pull him back and bring him back because he promised that he will bring him back. So now question comes, how is this person became influenced? The tigers were dancing and Kala Krishna Das went dancing somewhere else. So these things, they teach us something, that how we have to be, we should not take anything for granted. And we have to be attentive, awareness of our own mindset and not be offensive and not be laxed and take advantage of our position. And all this has to be understood.
Thank you.
So we have Satyasanda Das. He writes, Pranam Babaji, you mentioned light and darkness, sun illuminating dark room. Is it proper understanding from my side that as long as the disciple does not have fully pure knowledge bestowed from the Guru, the disciple remains in darkness or twilight, even if he studies scriptures regularly? Is it related somehow to the verse Yasya Deva Para Bhaktir Yatha Deve Tatha Guru? Thank you.
Yeah, so you yourself are answering yourself. So, because this is not material knowledge. You see, if you understand how we comprehend something new. So how we comprehend something new is two ways. Either you direct experience it. Suppose you have never eaten a mango. So how do you know what is the taste of mango? You actually taste it. So that is called Prataksha Pramana. So then nobody has to explain this to you. You yourself experience it and you know it. But in case of spiritual matters, it is not possible to have direct experience just like that. You have to become qualified. And our senses do not have the ability to experience them by themselves because they are material. These senses are product of karma, our past karma. Senses, body, material body, everything is a product of my karma, which is material. So they are all material, they are made of material elements. So they do not have any ability to actually even understand anything which is not material. Because material mind, material this, buddhi, etc., it's like material senses cannot see spiritual object. As Krishna said, Divyam dadami te chakshu, I give you divine vision. Although it has different meaning, but this is also one of the meaning. So our senses cannot perceive it. Therefore, it happens only by the grace. That's how God cannot be approached simply by your own effort. Panthastu koti satsam vatsar sampragamyo vayorathapi munyo munurpungavanam. So you cannot see him. But santa sadaiva hridayesu vilokayanti. So it comes by the grace of Guru. So what God has made this arrangement, that He has put Guru in between ourselves and Him. And therefore He is considered as, sometimes we say He is a representative of God, sometimes we say God Himself comes as Guru. But it is through Him that you understand Him and you get a glimpse of Him. And that happens when you have Shraddha. So ashraddhya hutam dattam. So if there is ashraddha, then you don't asatiti uchyate partha nayat pratyah noihya. So then it is asat. Tapastaptam kritam chayat, whether it is tapasya or education or anything. Without shraddha it does not work. Agyasya shraddhadhanasya samsya atma vinashyati. But shraddhavan labte jnanam tatparasayatendriya. So it is shraddhavan labte jnanam. So this transcendental knowledge comes through shraddha. Therefore Rupa Goswami says Adav Shraddha. It's this. Shraddha is the beginning. Otherwise what happens, like he was saying, that some people meet some great sadhu, guru, and still they don't change. So it is because of their shraddha. So shraddha is which helps you to grasp it. And then you do sadhana with that shraddha. And then you have experience. So this is the process. So that's why that verse which you are referring, I think from Kathopanishad, Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru. Tasya vete kathita hi artha. So still you have to hear from the Guru. Kathita hi artha means these are subjects which have been spoken. So then they become revealed to you, means now you will have an experience of it. Prakashante. Prakash means illuminated. So this is the process. And this process is little different from the material world process, because material world you can be a great learned scholar in a field without having Shraddha. So that's why here the personal development becomes important to have proper understanding. And therefore comes the role of Achara. Achara Prabho Dharma. So Acharhinam na punanti Veda. That even Vedas do not purify if you do not have Sadachar. Okay.